All right, this is from MetsMinors.net. Headline: Jeremy Rodriguez, Jeffrey Rosa highlight Florida Complex League Mets roster. Now, before we get into this video, you need to hit that subscribe button. You want to know what's going on with the Mets minor league system. As you know, the Mets are really trying to build up this system in a big way, as you know. The Florida Complex League Mets start their season on Saturday at 10 a.m. at Roger Dean Stadium against the Florida Complex League Cardinals. Shortstop Jeremy Rodriguez, the top prospect on the Mets roster, who they acquired from the Arizona Diamondbacks last season at the trade deadline. Veteran outfielder Tommy Pham. Rodriguez, who's 17, had an impressive 1247 OPS in 13 games for the Mets and an 878 OPS overall in his pro debut. Jay Petchy is the complex supervisor this season after managing the Florida Complex League Mets last year. And Danny Ortega is the manager following his start in the Mets organization last year as a manager in the Dominican Summer League. Now, here are the catchers. Julio Zayas, you need to keep an eye on him. He's considered a very good catching prospect. Orangel Rodriguez, Francisco Toledo, Carlos Oviedo. Zayas, who's 18, was a Dominican Summer League All-Star in his pro debut last year. The 18-year-old hit 307, 368, 517 with 14 doubles, 7 home runs, and 43 RBIs in 49 games for the DSL Mets. Toledo, who's 19, had an 809 OPS in 15 games during his pro debut last season in the DSL. Now, I would mention, these are players that you've not seen. These are all players that the Mets have signed either from the Dominican or from Venezuela or from anywhere outside of the United States and Puerto Rico. And I guess Japan to a certain degree. And you'll see some other names here that were drafted that are very young players, that are 18, 19 years old, players the Mets drafted last year. Okay, the infielders. Branny De Olio, who you need to keep an eye on. Jonathan Enriquez. These are all infielders. I mean, it doesn't matter where they play because they're going to be playing everywhere. Jeremy Rodriguez, like we talked about. D'Angelo Sarmiento. And Jake Zatello, who the Mets drafted last year. Rodriguez is the standout here as a borderline top 100 MLB prospect. But DeOlio is also a player to watch. DeOlio, who's 18, hit 313 with 6 stolen bases and 25 RBIs in 46 games for the Dominican Summer League Mets last year in his pro debut. Now, they did not mention A.J. Ewing in here, and he was a player the Mets drafted last year in the 4th round. He's a shortstop, and he's a 4th-round pick by the Mets last year. Here's the outfielders. Sebastian Castro, Willie Fanis, the guy to keep an eye on, Simon Juan, another player who's highly regarded, and Jeffrey Rosa. Oh, I see they put A.J. Ewing here. They miscategorized him. Fanis and Juan are the 2 big bonus players here, but Rosa is the one who has been beating up on baseballs over the last year. 19-year-old led the DSL with the 15 home runs last year and did it only 148 at-bats. Ewing was a 4th round. Again, they messed that part up. But here's the pitchers. And like I said, a lot of these players are players that the Mets got from the Dominican League, and some players are players that they drafted last year. Wellington Aracena, Jose Chirinos, Jorge De Leon, Estaran Escalante, Wilson Esterlin, Anderson Ferreira, Rodolfo Garrido, Christopher Gomez, Daviel Hurtado, Gregory Lewis, Francisco Mercado, Edgar Moreto, Jeremy Peguero, Christian Rodriguez, Omar Victorino, Joseph Yarbor. De Leon is back in action, who's 21, for the first time since 2021. The hard thrower posted a 1.85 ERA with 49 strikeouts in 39 innings in 2021 for the DSL Mets. Hurtado, who's 19, will be making his pro debut after signing with the Mets back in 23 out of Cuba, which is a different place. Yarbor, the cousin of fellow Mets minor leaguer Luis Angel Acuna, was signed by the Mets this offseason and has a fastball that goes up to 98 miles per hour. So this is the Florida Complex League is sort of like instructional league. As you know, after the 2019 season, Major League Baseball basically got rid of all the extra minor league teams. A lot of the teams all had 7 leagues, all had 7 teams, all involved in all these different leagues, all these different minor league cities, and all these different small towns. Well, they did away with that after 2019 and consolidated into 4 teams, and then they consolidated these really young players in the Florida Complex League and the Arizona Complex Leagues. So that's kind of where we're at here. But like I said, these are all players that have been signed that are 16, or most of them are 17 years old, 18 years old. A lot of them start in Dominican if they're from the Dominican, and then they work their way up. They go up to, starts, Dominican Summer League, then they go to the Florida State League, Florida Complex League, then the Florida State League, then the the New York Penn League, at least with the Mets, Eastern League, then the International League. But that's how it works. So thank you for watching this video. I'll keep you up to date on these young guys. These players we won't be seeing in the majors for another 3 or 4 years if they make it. So thank you for watching. Have a good day, and I'll see you later.